Assembly Member Twycross, a supplementary to Standing Up for London.
Thank you.
Londoners.
Yes. How are you planning to stand up for Londoners on zero-hours contracts who suffer as a result of the government's anticipated £12 billion cuts in social security?
Well, on zero-hours contracts, I think it is important to bear in mind that the Labour proposal to abolish them was paradoxical when you consider that the Labour Party itself employed many people on zero-hour contracts, not least in Doncaster.
We're not actually talking about what the Labour Party's policy is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
There are many people actually who, for whom zero-hours contracts are appropriate and suit their working needs. When they are unfair and when they are abused, obviously I think that is wrong, but I would like to see the problem addressed not by trying to abolish jobs, but by making sure that jobs are better paid.
The question related to somebody on zero-hours contract who is likely to suffer as a result of the anticipated £12 billion welfare cuts, which, going back to my colleague Tom Copley's point, may be something that you never actually anticipated you were going to have to make because you thought you were going to be in coalition. For example, your party has pledged to stop under-21s entitlement to housing benefit. Now, Mrs Thatcher's government implemented something similar in the 1980s, which homeless charity Crisis has noted was undoubtedly a factor in the continued rise in the level of single homelessness throughout the 1990s. Are you comfortable and confident that this cut will not increase rough sleeping and homelessness in London? And what will you do to stand up for young Londoners who might be impacted by these cuts?
I think on reform of benefits, this is something actually that attracts wide support across the country, and the proposed cut of the proposed reduction of £12 billion is substantially less than was achieved in the previous Parliament. Everybody understands that we need to do more to reform the benefit system, and there are plenty of people who are receiving far more. I think there are 70,000 families who are receiving more than £26,000 a year in benefit. That's quite a lot.
Can I just go back to the fact
I think most reasonable people think there is scope for reform.
He's not answering the question, though. I don't like the answer because he's not answering my question. He's answering a different question.
No, Assembly Member Shawcross.
Fiona Twycross, sorry.
Sorry, Assembly Member Twycross.
Sorry, Fiona. I mean, on zero hours contracts and the loss. What you're asking is what about the potential loss of in-work benefits for those on zero hours contracts?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to stick up for Londoners any way I can, but I think the best way is to champion the London living wage, and I think that's something that you and I unite on. We've seen great success, and I'd rather go that way. I'd rather go that way than set about trying to abolish jobs across the city. I think the record of job creation has been profoundly good. It's been the right way forward for London. It's helped people to gain. I'd rather see people in a job, getting confidence, feeling that they're on a ladder of opportunity, than frozen out of the labour market. And that's the right way forward.
So if when you're sitting around the political cabinet table, something comes up that makes it very clear that the new cuts to benefits are forcing more people to food banks, which is obviously one of the major causes that food charities have said is one of the reasons behind more people using food banks, will you speak up for Londoners being forced to use food banks as a result?
Well, I was certainly. I mean, I forgot to say in my opening remarks that we've putting new fund. I'm very encouraged by this, not just food banks, by the social supermarkets that we are setting up in London. We're putting £300,000 of new funding into social supermarkets that reduce food waste. Taking stuff that would otherwise go to landfill. But to get to your point, what these bodies do is they help people whose lives have gone wrong, who need advice, who are on benefits. You can only qualify for a social supermarket if you are on means-tested benefits. And the establishment I saw in West Norwood was fantastic because they were actually they were not just giving people cut-price food, but they were buying it at cut-price rates. They were helping them with their lives, helping them off benefits, showing them how to get jobs, and that, for me, is the way forward. And so, if it comes to supporting that sort of approach, yes, I will be there, and so will the whole Conservative Party, by the way.
Yeah, Assembly